Welcome back, pirates! We pick up right where the chaos left off. Mayor Boodle has been knocked out to keep him safe, and it's time for the Straw Hats to face the Buggy Pirates head-on. Luffy is fired up and ready to take down Buggy the Clown, but Buggy is a master of cheap shots. Buggy shot Buggy Ball attack, but this time, Luffy uses his Devil Fruit power and reverses the Buggy Ball back at Buggy Pirates. Before Luffy can completely unleash his rage on the clown Buggy, his second-in-command steps up, Acrobat Kabaji. Kabaji is riding a unicycle, wielding a sword, and radiating sheer disrespect. He challenges Zoro to a fight. Zoro is ready for the fight. It's go time. But Kabaji isn't looking for a fair sword fight. Oh no, he brings a whole circus act of dirty tricks. Acrobatic stunts to confuse Zoro, spinning tops aimed directly at Zoro's face to throw him off balance, and worst of all, kicking dirt directly into Zoro's gaping stab wound. Kabaji's entire strategy is to target Zoro's injury. At one point, Buggy even tries to interfere by using his detached hand to hold Zoro's legs so Kabaji can land a lethal blow. Luckily, Luffy steps in, stepping squarely on Buggy's hand and declaring that this is a fight between swordsmen. Luffy trusts his first mate. This is where Zoro solidifies his status as an absolute legend. Sick and tired of Kabaji acting like his injury is the only reason he's struggling, Zoro does the unthinkable. Zoro actually steps up from his own wounds, shocking everyone, especially Kabaji. He tells the acrobat that even with this massive handicap, Kabaji is completely out of his league. Kabaji, enraged and humiliated, launches his ultimate attack. But Zoro is done playing games. He draws all three of his swords, waits for the perfect moment, and unleashes his signature move, Onigiri, Demon Slash. He slices right through Kabaji in a flash. The acrobat falls off his unicycle, defeated. Zoro sheaths his swords, calmly states that he needs to take a nap, and passes out, leaving everything else to Luffy. A flawless victory. While the boys are busy fighting on the front lines, let's not forget our beloved cat burglar. Nami is using the distraction to sneak into the Buggy Pirates' base. Her goal? The Grand Line map and a massive haul of treasure. She secures the bag, literally, setting up her end of the bargain. Back on the battlefield, the dust settles. Zoro has taken out the first mate, and now it's captain versus captain. Luffy stares down Buggy, cracking his knuckles. The stage is perfectly set for the grand finale of the Orangetown arc. The fight kicks off with Luffy and Buggy exchanging blows, stretching and splitting all over the battlefield. But things take a sudden, serious turn when Buggy manages to strike Luffy's precious straw hat, throwing it to the ground and stabbing 3 blades right through the brim. Luffy is furious. That hat is his treasure, a promise to Shanks. But to Luffy's surprise, Buggy recognizes the hat. He knows Shanks. In fact, Buggy completely despises him. We are then treated to our very first major flashback of the series. We see a young Buggy and a young Shanks serving as apprentices on the same pirate ship. And for those of you who know whose ship that is, keep that spoiler locked up for now. The flashback reveals exactly why Buggy hates Shanks. Back in the day, Buggy had a genius plan. He found a treasure map marking a massive underwater haul, and the crew had just looted the Chop Chop fruit, Bada Bada no Mi, which they planned to sell for 100 million berries. Buggy wanted both. He made a fake fruit, ate it in front of the crew, and hid the real one. But while he was admiring his stolen fruit and treasure map in secret, Shanks suddenly surprised him. In a panic, Buggy swallowed the real devil fruit whole and dropped his treasure map into the ocean. Buggy dove in to save his map, completely forgetting that eating a devil fruit takes away your ability to swim. He sank like a stone. Shanks immediately dove in and saved his life, but Buggy didn't care. In Buggy's mind, Shanks robbed him of his underwater treasure and his ability to swim, trapping him as a devil fruit user forever. Back in the present, Luffy couldn't care less about Buggy's grudge. Shanks is a great man, and Buggy is just a clown. Infuriated, Buggy unleashes his ultimate technique, Chop Chop Festival. He splits his entire body into dozens of floating pieces, sending his limbs flying at Luffy from every direction. It's overwhelming, and Luffy is struggling to keep up with the flying daggers and disembodied kicks. But Buggy made one fatal mistake. He left his feet unguarded on the ground. Enter Nami. While Buggy is distracted, she casually walks over and ties up all of his grounded body parts with a thick rope. When Buggy tries to reassemble himself, only his head, hands, and feet return to his waist. He is now Mini Buggy. "What did you do to my parts?" Luffy doesn't miss a beat. He stretches both arms way back, locks onto the bite-sized clown, and unleashes a massive Gomu Gomu no Bazooka. Buggy is launched into the stratosphere, disappearing into a twinkle in the sky. With Buggy defeated, Nami officially hands over the Grand Line map, and they are ready to go. But there's a catch. Mayor Boodle finally wakes up, just as the terrified townspeople return to see what happened. They see their beloved mayor knocked out and immediately assume the Straw Hats are the villains who destroyed their town. They chase after Luffy, Nami, and a heavily sleeping Zoro. But in a touching final moment, Shushu, the loyal little dog whose pet shop Luffy avenged earlier, stands in front of the angry mob, barking to block their path so the pirates can escape. Luffy, Zoro, and Nami make it to their small boats. The mayor wakes up just in time to yell a tearful thank you across the water. Nami agrees to join up with them, strictly for her own gain, of course, and the newly formed trio sets sail. So, we've got a navigator, a swordsman, and a rubber captain, but our crew is currently sailing in 2 tiny wooden boats. It's time for an upgrade. We are going towards peaceful Syrup Village, but peace is boring, right? Luckily, this island is guarded by a fearsome pirate captain with an armada of 80 million men, or at least that's what he wants you to think. Grab your slingshots because it's time to meet the one and only Captain Usopp. Our trio, Luffy, Zoro, and Nami, drifting lazily at sea, they quickly realize that if they are going to the Grand Line, they need a real pirate ship and a lot more meat. They spot an island and decide to drop anchor. Enter Usopp. Standing high on a cliff overlooking the coast, this long-nosed teen spots our crew and immediately panics. He rallies his fearsome crew, the Usopp Pirates, which actually just consists of 3 local little kids named Ninjin, Piemon, and Tamanagi. When Luffy and the gang step onto the beach, Usopp tries to intimidate them. He claims to have 80 million followers ready to strike at his command. Nami instantly calls his bluff, pointing out that 80 million is a ridiculous number. Usopp's knees are shaking, and Luffy just laughs. The kid is obviously full of hot air. Trying to act tough one last time, Usopp draws his slingshot and points it at Luffy. But Luffy's demeanor instantly changes. He pulls his straw hat down over his eyes and delivers a line he learned straight from his idol, red-haired Shanks. "Now that you've drawn your weapon, put your life on the line. I'm saying those aren't for threatening people." Usopp is terrified, but Luffy instantly bursts out laughing, breaking the tension. He tells Usopp that he actually knows his father. Usopp is stunned. Luffy explains that when he was a kid, a pirate named Usopp was the master sniper on Shanks' crew. Usopp never stopped talking about his little boy back home. Usopp is incredibly proud of his dad for being a brave pirate out on the sea, and the two instantly bond over this shared connection. Meanwhile, the Straw Hats are eating at a local restaurant when they finally have a real conversation with Usopp. We quickly learn that Usopp is the local village nuisance. Every single morning, he runs through the streets yelling at the top of his lungs, "The pirates are coming! The pirates are coming!" He's the ultimate boy who cried wolf. The villagers are so used to it that they just throw pans and brooms at him, treating it like a daily alarm clock. But there's a much softer side to this local liar. Usopp sneaks onto the massive estate of a wealthy, sickly girl named Kaya, who's the owner of a shipyard. She's bedridden and depressed after losing her parents, so Usopp climbs a tree outside her window every day to tell her the most ridiculous, grand, and obviously fake stories of his adventures to make her smile. Fighting giant goldfish, battling sea monsters, he makes it all up just to bring her a little joy. Knowing that Kaya owns a shipyard, Luffy, though, he can ask Kaya for a ship, and he enters the Kaya mansion, which is not easy to sneak in, where Usopp is already present, and he introduces Luffy's group to Kaya that they are new members of his crew, and Luffy asks Kaya for the ship. But their fun is interrupted by Kaya's butler, Clowador. He's a strict, sharply dressed man who pushes his glasses up with the base of his palm. He despises Usopp, calling him a filthy rat, and tells him to stay away from Kaya. But this time, he doesn't just call Usopp a nuisance, he crosses a massive line. Clowador viciously insults Usopp's father, Yasopp, calling him a filthy, savage pirate who abandoned his family. He tells Usopp that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, branding him a worthless liar with dirty blood. Kaya actively trying to stop her butler, but he is not listening to her. Usopp might be a coward, but he has immense pride in his father. In a rare moment of pure, unadulterated rage, Usopp punches Clowador squarely in the face. But the victory is short-lived. Kaya, who sees the punch, is horrified. She yells at Usopp and says Clowador is a good person and he only wants her best. Heartbroken and misunderstood, Usopp storms off, leaving his only friend behind.
Meanwhile, down in the village, we get one of the strangest character introductions in all of One Piece. A tall man with a mushroom-shaped chin and heart-shaped glasses is literally moonwalking backward through the town. This is Django the Hypnotist. He's looking for Clowador, but he keeps getting distracted. We quickly learn his gimmick. He uses a bladed pendulum to hypnotize people by making them look at it and saying, "1, 2, Django." The only problem? He usually ends up hypnotizing himself and falling asleep standing up. He is ridiculous, but as we are about to find out, he is also extremely dangerous. Usopp, still sulking about the fight, is sitting on the edge of a high cliff overlooking the ocean. Luffy is also there. Suddenly, he hears voices below. It's Clowador and the weird moonwalking guy Django. Luffy also listens in with him. The two overhear a terrifying conversation. Clowador drops his polite butler persona. He is actually Captain Kuro of 100 Plans, a notorious and ruthless pirate who was supposedly executed by the Marines 3 years ago. Kuro explains his master plan. He faked his death and infiltrated Kaya's estate to gain the village's absolute trust. He has spent 3 agonizing years pretending to be a loyal servant. Now it's time for the payoff. Django is going to hypnotize Kaya into signing a will that leaves her massive fortune entirely to Clowador. Once the will is signed, the Black Cat pirates will raid the village and assassinate Kaya, making it look like a tragic pirate attack. Kuro gets the money completely legally and maintains his peaceful life. It is cold, calculated, and perfectly evil. Usopp is paralyzed with fear. But Luffy? Luffy just yells out at them, "Hey, don't kill that girl!" Absolute stealth fail. Kuro and Django instantly spot them. Kuro, completely unfazed, tells Django to handle it. Django pulls out his ringed pendulum, swings it back and forth, and yells his catchphrase, 1, 2, Django. Instead of looking away, Luffy stares directly at it. He instantly falls dead asleep and plummets headfirst off the massive cliff, crashing into the ground below. Usopp is left completely alone. The deadliest pirate in the East Blue is staring right at him, and Kuro just smiles. Kuro knows he doesn't even need to kill Usopp. Why?
because Usopp is the boy who cried wolf and very well known as a liar. Kuro chillingly tells him to go ahead and run to the village. No one will ever believe him. Usopp is sprinting back to Syrup Village, his lungs burning and his heart pounding. He bursts into the town square screaming his iconic line, "The pirates are coming! The pirates are coming!" But this time, it's not a prank. Usopp is terrified, sweating, and begging the villagers to grab their weapons and run. The tragic part? The villagers react the exact same way they do every morning. They yell at him to shut up and go back to their chores. When Usopp tries to grab them and explain that Captain Kuro is real, they just get angry. They think his joke has gone way too far. Usopp realizes with absolute horror that his 3 years of daily lies have perfectly paved the way for the village's destruction. No one is coming to help. Desperate, Usopp runs to the one person who needs to know the truth the most, Kaya. He climbs his usual tree, bursts through her window, and frantically explains that her beloved butler, Klahadore, is actually a bloodthirsty pirate captain planning to assassinate her for her fortune. But Kaya is in complete denial. Klahadore has cared for her for 3 years. In her eyes, Usopp is just making up a cruel story because he's still angry about their fight from the day before. Usopp grabs her arm, trying to pull her away to safety, but Kaya tears herself free and does the unthinkable. She slaps him across the face. Usopp is surrounded by her guards, and then Usopp runs away from her estate. Down in the village, Usopp's 3 loyal crew members, the little kids, Ninjin, Pimon, and Tamanegi, find him along with the Luffy. They've heard the rumors that Usopp is spreading a really bad lie today. For a second, you think Usopp is going to tell them the truth and recruit them. But he looks at these innocent kids and makes a heartbreaking decision. He forces a smile, laughs, and tells them it was all just a made-up story. He lies to them so they won't go down to the coast. He lies so they won't get slaughtered by the Black Cat pirates. It is his most heroic lie yet. Evening falls. Usopp is on a cliff with Luffy's group. He has made his choice. He is going to wait on the shore and fight the entire Black Cat pirate fleet by himself. He will stop them at the coast, die protecting the town, and ensure that his warning truly remains a lie to the peaceful villagers. But Luffy, Zoro, and Nami heard his whole plan. Luffy looks at Usopp, seeing past the cowardice and the lies. He sees a guy willing to throw his life away to protect the people who hate him. Luffy grins and says, "We are going to help you." Usopp breaks down in tears. For the first time all day, someone believes him. The Straw Hat trio stands beside the village liar, ready to go to war. Usopp knows the geography of his island perfectly. He explains that there is only one slope leading up from the coast to the village. If they can block that choke point, the Black Cat pirates won't be able to invade. So, they have to get to work. They dump massive barrels of oil all over the slope, turning it into a slippery, impassable trap. They wait in the dark, weapons ready, completely prepared for an epic ambush at dawn. The sun rises, the tension is thick, and nothing happens. There are no pirate ships. Suddenly, Usopp goes pale. He realizes a fatal error. Yes, there is only one slope on this side of the island, but there's a completely different coast on the opposite side of the island. Captain Kuro's crew is landing at the other beach. Absolute panic sets in. The Black Cat pirates are already making land, and the village is completely undefended. Usopp takes off sprinting toward the correct beach. Luffy, eager to help, takes off sprinting too, but in the completely wrong direction. He gets hopelessly lost in the woods. Zoro and Nami try to follow Usopp, but there's a slight problem. Remember that brilliant oil trap they set up? Zoro steps right in it. He slips, slides, and completely wipes out, getting stuck at the bottom of the slope. He has to grab onto Nami, and she ends up slipping too. Their own genius plan is now actively preventing them from saving the town. Meanwhile, at the correct beach, Django the Hypnotist and the Black Cat Pirates have landed. They are walking up the slope, fully prepared to slaughter everyone in their path. But standing alone at the top of the ridge is Usopp. He is terrified. His knees are knocking together, but he holds his ground. He pulls his slingshot and warns them to back off, trying to bluff one last time by saying his vast army is waiting in the bushes. The pirates just laugh. They know he's the village liar. They charge up the hill. Django tries to hypnotize Usopp, but Nami suddenly showed up and saved Usopp. But Usopp isn't going down without a fight. He scatters caltrops, sharp metal spikes all over the ground, stopping the front line of pirates in their tracks. Then he unleashes a barrage of lead stars from his slingshot, actually holding off an entire pirate crew by himself. It's a massive moment of bravery for him. Nami is also helping him. Usopp's defense can only last so long. Just as the pirates are about to overwhelm him, Usopp tries everything to stop them. Then Luffy and Zoro finally arrived. Knocking off many pirates at once, Straw Hat and Pirate Hunter are here, and they mean business. Clawhador is waiting for the cat pirates to arrive, but they don't show up yet. Then he decided to check the situation himself. The battle lines are finally drawn. Luffy and Zoro has to fight an entire crew of cat pirates. Usopp is pushing past his limits, and Luffy is, well, fully committed to help Usopp. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe. In our next part, the swords will finally clash, and a pair of deadly brothers will enter the fray. See you on the Grand Line.